Kind of an odd train picture? A man walking between two train engines? Yes, between two old diesel engines of the Tennessee Valley Railroad. I enjoy most anything with big engines, like my C806, don't you? Or maybe you just like scenic train rides, or you are a railroad enthusiast. I think you would enjoy this ride. Let's tag along and see what it's all about. Welcome to Road Odyssey. If you like the videos I provide, please subscribe. I have my Facebook page where you can see my current activities. The Hiwassee River Scenic Train Ride is really beautiful, scenic, and relaxing. We enjoyed going back in time, riding an old mid-20th century rail coaches through dense woods and mountain curves that snaked along the Hiwassee River and part of the Ocoee River. Sitting back, making friends, chatting about more than the weather, watching the lush foliage pass by as the train lumbered along the twisty river rails is just enchanting for some and a thrill to others. Get off that road, out of the clouds, and immerse yourself in bygone days' railroad enjoyment. This particular trip might be a good one for you railroad hobbyists as well. Pause a second and allow me to give you details about this particular trip's background. Google search Tennessee train rides, for example, and you should quickly see the Tennessee Valley Railroad. Visit the TVR's website and just look around for fun. While doing so, you will see numerous train trips available. Some are short, few-hour rides, while others are 8 to 9 hour rides. My wife and I chose the Copperhill Special, an 8-hour journey mainly following the Hiwassee River, which is very curvy indeed. This Copperhill trip takes about 3 hours going from Delano, Tennessee to Copperhill, Tennessee. Has a 1.5 to 2 hour layover, then the 3-hour trip back to Delano. Backing this train up a little, remember we are in Tennessee, south of Knoxville, basically in the Smoky Mountains. You might be interested in other relatable activities such as driving the Tail of the Dragon over on Highway 129, of which I have a video on that fantastic little cart trip, and other train rides presented by like the Great Smoky Mountain Railroad that we saw over on Highway 74 during this whole same time period. The Hiwassee's Copperhill trip begins in Delano, Tennessee off Highway 411, follows the Hiwassee River, which is an extensive stretch of rail, obviously ends at downtown Copperhill. You can have lunch and wander through the shops of the town for about 1.5 to 2 hours. Then promptly reboard the train, meaning that your day is split into 3 hours to Copperhill, up to about 2 hours in Copperhill, then 3 hours back to Delano. Getting to Delano to begin with is very simple. Delano, Tennessee is basically between Knoxville and Chattanooga on Highway 411. For the train ride, this Hiwassee, you can spot the train's parking area by looking for these signs, and the address is 9406 Highway 411. This is what the entry area looks like passing the driveway. Here, now I'm pulling up to the entrance and going into the parking area. Scanning the parking area. There is a lot of space for cars, trailers, and RV parking. There are some porta potties if you really must go. Scanning the tracks, I pan south as the train slowly and cautiously backs into the receiving area. The end coach is the dome observation car, which my wife and I got tickets for, knowing it would provide a very good view. We stayed on the floor level because actually that dome was not available. Overall, there were 5 coaches plus a second dome car and the 2 engines. The coaches were in pretty good condition as far as I could tell, although our dome observation coach, like I said, the dome was being worked on and it was just not available. And that car was built by the Budd Company in 1954 for the Canadian Pacific. The dome car in front of ours was built in 1955. Both engines are EMD, that's, I believe, Electromotive Division, GP38s, that stands for General Purpose, so GP38s. These engines were built like in the mid-60s to mid-70s, and the motors or engines inside of these locomotives produced 2,000 horsepower. And the brown one, 5109, was built in 1974, from what I read, and the Tennessee Valley Railroad, they had bought it in 2017. It came time to board. If I remember right, it's 7:30 a.m. Promptly. My wife and I got to the dome observation car and just took a look around. Like I said, the dome was in repair. Not easy to see from, so they didn't sell tickets for this car's dome section. Bummer. Would have been cool. Being at the rear observation car was still a very good viewing section of the train, scenery, and everything. Very glad we spent the extra dollars for that. We were accompanied only by 2 other couples, so a total of 6 of us back there. Very pleasant people to visit with. We had a good time yakking. Extremely kind and knowledgeable lady acting as our car's hostess was super nice and fun to talk to as well. She got her start a long time ago when her son worked for the same railroad. So she has had a very long history with this rail line. The windows of the observation car were plenty wide and numerous for good viewing. The chairs can be moved around for whatever view you wish. We didn't move the chairs going to Copperhill, but we did on the way back. Some of the windows still had water and stuff on them because it had been kind of rainy. So that made recording a little bit tricky. So sorry about that. And so following all this, I've cobbled together a lot of clips to give you an idea of the ride and tell you just more trivia about all the goings-ons. In case it makes you feel safer to join a train trip like this, and for this trip in particular for sure, there is a truck that they use that drives on the tracks the full length to remove debris like fallen trees and rocks. Get all that good stuff off the tracks well before the train begins its journey. Good to know. Amazingly enough, the truck also looks for weird stuff. There was an occurrence quite a while back where a bunch of beavers felled trees and piled up debris all over the tracks a long time ago. Really created a big mess. So after that and so many other, things falling on the tracks, running the truck beforehand has turned out to be a very good thing for sure. This building at Reliance had a very interesting history. Sorry, I don't recall, as did many places along the way. Apparently, there were several ghost towns all along the tracks. You might see a lot of rafting, kayaking, and fishing going on in the river, camping as well, obviously. And this here is the same area when we were on our way back. There is certainly a lot of outdoor entertainment, especially later in the day when the Appalachia Dam opens up. The dam is typically closed in the mornings, and you can see a lot of plants in the river, like the river grass, which can only grow in very clean water. Another attempt at looking at the Hiwassee River. It's hard to see most of the time through these videos because there's just so many plants in the view. So it just doesn't look good on video. But when you're riding the train, you can see and register what's going on much more easily. Here's the TVA Appalachia Dam Powerhouse. Built in the 1940s, we had gone about 1/3 of the way so far. And another look of the river after the dam. I went to the walkway between our coach and the next one to get a better view and without videotaping through the windows. Here is my first attempt at seeing the whole train up to the engines. This was really difficult. I had to be completely ready, not look away for 1 second, and grab a video clip fast. The little trestle bridge was cool too. There's a much bigger one up ahead in a bit. Kind of getting back to the truck that drives the rails before the train to ensure everything's safe. I got some of these clips to illustrate the work that truck does before the train runs in order to clear all this debris. How about just looking around for a bit? We're kicking back and just enjoying the scenery and the sleepy rocking and rolling of the train. That's a big trestle bridge. Very cool. A beautiful view. The track running alongside and below from the trestle view tells us we are possibly at the Hiwassee Loop, just next to the North Carolina border. Between the loop and Copperhill, there's a small section of track that will run alongside of the Ocoee River. Did I tell you it's 50 miles of track? Nope, didn't think I did. How are you liking the ride so far? Think you might give it a try? Or have you been there and done that? For my wife and I, this was the 5th good old railroad journey we had taken. We've done the Rusk and Palestine in Texas, Grand Canyon trip from Williamson, Arizona, super fun. The Silverton Durango trip in Colorado, awesome ride. And a smaller one in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, a long time ago. Getting into Copperhill. Well, of course, you're right. There is the Copperhill itself right there opposite of the tracks. Looks like a copper mill, maybe, next to that as well. When you walk the streets of Copperhill, you might come across this display of copper-related mining artifacts. Two engines uncoupled and made their way around to the back of the train to couple up with the last car, our observation car, then push us into the station. No station. Just simply a place to load and unload us cattle. Very simple and easy.
We're going to have on the ground, you got about 1 foot to a couple try going south one foot. Yeah, they gonna try it again.
There's an inch worm on that hole.
We're just assuming on my video that it connected.
That's it hard. There, that'll do. Hang on a second. Okay.
I suppose you have 1 inch on one end and 1 inch on the other end.
No, it had to make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it connected, so that's what they were doing that time, making sure it was.
We stood directly over the Tennessee and Georgia border. As you gander at the engines and coaches again, because I just like this kind of stuff, I will tell you that we had a pleasant lunch, plenty of places to dine. We walked around looking for shops to buy gifts for friends and family as well. We hopped back on the train and headed back from where we came, ready to see anything we might have missed previously. How about a look at one of the rooms on the observation coach? The shoe box allowed people to get their shoes polished at night without being interrupted. Pretty cool. Hey, there I am. Hi, y'all. On a train ride. Isn't that interesting? On a train ride. All right. Tiny rooms. Efficient, though. Smart thing. And just a fun bit of looking at the engine pulling us along. Fun, fun, fun. Next best thing to actually riding on the engine itself. How about a little more of looking at the scenery? Look closely and you might see people playing in the river. Hey, we are back, and that means that this video is pretty much at its end. I do very much appreciate you watching this video. Maybe it will be of use to you in some way. I hope so. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And with that, relax, take it easy, and I will see you later. Bye.